Actually, it's my high school experience. 3 days ago, I was helping my sister clean up the furniture in our living room. And I was doing a pretty good job scrubbing the TV stand, and suddenly, a certain CD falls to my feet. I look down when I see a writing in ink that read out Kids and Men's Edda. That was the title of the short movie that me and my friends filmed for a hard project back when we were in 11th grade. Something I haven't seen in a very long time, for over 3 years, I think. So I was filled with such disbelief that I stopped what I was doing, ran up to my room to watch it, completely oblivious to the angry glare that my sister was giving me as I abandoned her. After 21 minutes of reliving those epic moments as we filmed the movie together, I realized that I was left feeling nostalgic. Years of coveted high school memories were suddenly unleashed. And I suddenly realized that my speech was to be about my high school experience. Such a cliche, but bear with me. High school, I felt like most people were trying to assume an identity and characterize themselves. Looking back to when I started high school, I was a little resistant to change, while everyone else seemed to accept it and literally jumped up on a train that took them to a life that they didn't know what's going to happen next. But I was scared. I was more like the piece of the puzzle board that was out of shape, the misfit, if you will. But at some point in our lives, we each go through a screening and the process of self-discovery. And for me, that process of self-discovery started in high school. I realized that I didn't have to change or alter my perspective in order to fit in. I realized that instead I needed to uncover my interests and mature in the comprehension that I had of life's true purpose. And once I made that revelation, that marked the beginning of a chapter that I would imagine BDS journey through high school dramatically. So amidst the air of conformity, people were distancing themselves from the things that were once a priority to only blur into a glimpse of their past, and a new web of community was suddenly formed. The notion of cliques and distinctive groups was something that was invented in high school, as you're well aware. And some of the cliques that we had were the bookworms, over-enthusiastic, participants of extracurricular activities, the ones that dramatized recess by partying, and in contrast, the ones that went to the library and caught up on their reading, the food maniacs, and the athletes, and so forth. Those who knew me well would place me as a girl who indulged in becoming over-participating, I might say. Yes, I love to be a part of something that inspires me. But I wasn't one you'd find hovering in the background, waiting for someone to give me orders. I was too hungry for a challenge to be that girl. Being the president of the Environmental Protection Club, vice president and founder of the Charity Club, vice president of the Peace and Justice Club, I was literally butting my head through every slit that screamed leadership. However, I don't want you to assume that I was someone who was power drunk. Instead, my thirst for life was thoroughly aimed at the internal bliss that came with leaving impact on people's lives. As exciting as it was discovering my target of affection at an early age, the presence of warm and crazy and at times unbearable friends takes most of the credit for a high school experience that's worth telling. Yusra, as her close friends called her, Yus, was a light brown-skinned, tall, shy, and pretty girl who in no way appeared to look like me. Pretty though. But our minds synced on the most outrageous whims and ideas that were totally far off. One instance, we decided to write a book and have it published. With all the books that we read, we thought we were experienced and drew one up. So we even wrote a few pages, approximately 25 to be exact, until our initial level of eagerness didn't match the exact level of commitment that was required to author a whole book. So that was one out of the many ridiculous ideas that Yusra and I came up with back in high school, but high school wouldn't have been the same without that telepathic ludicrousy. We've all had a friend who we instantly become For me, that person was Sihan. Sihan was a girl who was bright, outgoing, optimistic, and feisty. And most of all, she was a fellow feminist. And Sihan and I didn't defend our reputation in that regard as much as we did on the football field as we matched against our male counterparts. So I've been blessed with many friends who are both amazing and unique in their own ways. But I've also had a friend who was sort of the gossip girl of our batch. I'm not going to say her name, but she didn't go around spreading people's dirty little secrets through text messages. But she, in real life, being reserved and shy, was perked up on her Facebook account under an alias name where she befriended a lot of people. And sometimes their intimate details would accidentally leak to a small group of friends. Perhaps the most awaited experience of high school is the rush of your first love, your first romantic encounter, the pain of your first breakup. But my story runs a little short of that in high school. But my friends had those, and I was thoroughly entertained when they went through it. There's 1,000 more stories that were worth telling or sharing today. And now I look back to those days, to the days where I took high school for granted, and now that I've closed that chapter of my life, I miss it badly. But on the other hand, I look at my mom and her friends from high school, still going strong 30 years later, and I suddenly see a glimpse of hope, a hope that just maybe the memories and the friendships that we've taken from our past lives might linger on forever. Thank you.